Hello, Leo. This is Angel Aura Divination, and I'm here to give the sign of Leo their end of June 2021 general tarot and oracle message. This is a general reading. It's actually geared to be timeless, but this will resonate for you whenever you find it. So, yeah. Anyway, can you please go listen to my collective reading as well? It will give you a general oversight of some of the energies that everybody in the collective is dealing with, as well as some personalized information for you, which is partially what this is as well. Because the reason I do the collectives is really for myself to kind of get an overview of some of the themes that everybody's kind of going through, so that I can understand where the readings need to go. I don't really take it from an astrological perspective. I'm actually focusing more on the esoteric spiritual perspective, and that's why I use the Isis Oracle in that reading, but not in these readings, because the Isis Oracle gives me information that I wouldn't necessarily find in this reading as helpful. Because this is a collective reading as well, because I do expect multiple people to watch this reading, but it's not going to be like the same. Anyway, I'm using the Energy Oracle, I'm using the Sacred Destiny Oracle, and I'm also using the Universal Tarot to do your reading. The Energy Oracle is going to be the main part of the reading, with the Sacred Destiny Oracle being like a secondary aspect to it. And both of those, or all three of these decks that I'm using for this reading, are going to be in the description of the collective reading, so go check that out if you want to know about these cards. The collective reading is going to have the same thumbnail style as this reading, and it's going to be like right near it when you go and look at the readings in my account, my channel. And I'm probably going to start putting these videos in playlists at some point, and it's going to be in the same playlist as well. So yeah, let's get started though. Your first energy oracle card that we have is the Magician in the Mirror. This is a 53 reducing to an 8, 8 being about the crown chakra here and connecting to the outer universe. You know, it's kind of like you're extending, okay, you might even be feeling like you're extending your consciousness right now, to the degree that you are possibly, okay, some of you are dealing with psychic abilities that you are unlocking for yourself. Good on you. I mean, congratulations. So you might benefit from crystal healing or utilizing crystals to protect certain chakras, even if you don't put them in that place. Like, you don't need a headband with the amethyst on it, although that is a great idea. But you do, or you would benefit from utilizing crystals that would protect the chakras that stand out for you. As a Leo, your, what is it? Your solar plexus chakra is very important for you, because it really holds a lot of power, because the solar plexus is related to the energy of the sun, and the Leo is ruled by the sun, and the solar plexus and the Leo energy within you both kind of extend from the solar plexus. So like yellow crystals are really good for Leo placements, I believe. But you might also benefit from utilizing an amethyst or a purple crystal as well, especially with that crown chakra energy that I was picking up on off of the Magician in the Mirror. I also think that different aspects of yourself are being integrated right now, leading you into a new sense of identity, especially since I hyper-focused on the sacral chakra. Not the sacral chakra, that's going to be later. But especially since I hyper-focused on the solar plexus, you might be feeling the integration of different aspects of yourself come into affect your identity. You might even be looking at different aspects of yourself and trying to determine who you are now versus who you were in the past, even comparing different parts of yourself to who they were or what they were like in the past. The next card that we have out is Going Forward. So you might be going on some kind of journey, especially they actually said a journey of the self. This might also be related to your finances or to your okay, it's even about romance. This card, certain things about your journey or the journeys that you're taking, whether it's a spiritual journey or a physical journey, is going to be related to something that you're very attached to from the heart space, but not to the effect that you need to do any heart chakra healing. Just be aware that the way that you love yourself and the way that you deal with the love you have for others is going to be important. So if you have any work you need to do with that, I would say start that now. This could also be related to money, like I said. But I think your finances are really going well for you with this card coming out going forward, just because it's kind of like and it's really because I'm seeing all this green, right? And so I'm focusing on the green in the card, which would relate to the heart chakra, which would also relate to finances because there's a lot of plants. I would also say that plants would represent spiritual protection. But what I was really getting, and what my guides are kind of saying after I had made all those conclusions, is that you are in a place right now financially to where you can focus on other aspects of your life because you are not so focused on making more money for yourself. So the first card that we have out from the tarot to talk about this Magician in the Mirror is the Ace of Swords. So you might even be communicating your newfound sense of identity or your newfound sense of self with other people, or other people will be seeing that and communicating with you about it in some kind of way. I also get the impression, though, that some people are going to be a little bit conflicted about that, which is going to be supported by the Two of Swords here, where the people around you are not really going to understand how you've done that and how you've integrated your higher self, possibly, which I kind of feel like some of you are doing. But also, I think that people are going to be conflicted because then they're going to feel like they have to do that as well so they can fit in with you, which would kind of fit with the Leo energy, because Leos are social leaders. You know, Leos are the head of the pride. You know, king of the jungle, right? The next card out that we have is the Five of Pentacles, and I think people are really going to be wanting to integrate their higher selves because they're going to see you do it, and they're going to be feeling like they should do it too. And then they're doing that out of a fear of being left out or left in the cold, you know. And this is also kind of confirmation with the Five of Pentacles that of what I said, where you are making enough money to where you don't have to worry about it right now. But I would say that doesn't mean you can just go run off and spend all of your money. The next card out that we have from the tarot talking about the Magician in the Mirror and going forward is the Two of Wands. When I saw this card, I actually, they said, this is about the upgrade that you're having spiritually, possibly even psychically, as I said, where you're starting to notice that there's value in some of your own psychic abilities and your own spiritual teachings, they say, but you cannot necessarily just go run out and utilize those just yet. You have to also kind of make a plan on how you're going to do that, especially if that's related to money. We also have the Six of Wands here. The Six of Wands is kind of talking about victory. So ultimately you will be feeling victorious, or you will be victorious in whatever you go towards in this energy. But you also need to be aware that the Six of Wands can sometimes even be about victory at the end of a war, you know? So you might be going through personal trials and tribulations. They said qualms, but you might be going through personal trials and tribulations to really get to an end here. And the Six of Wands is a representation of the end. The next card out that we have for you from the Energy Oracle is the Thinking Woman. So this is also emphasizing the crown chakra and expansion of the mindset as well. You have something that you're going to build on. You also have something that might be changing. This could even be talking about you really literally changing the way that you look, or changing the way that you dress, possibly as well. This is also big on the heart chakra, where you're coming into a greater understanding about who you are and what you're about, which will change the way that you love yourself and possibly even how you love other people as well. I also think, though, that there are going to be things that are growing for you spiritually as you even grow in your own abundance, right? This is a 47 reducing down to an 11, ultimately reducing down to a 2. 11 being about the new cycles coming after the initiatory cycles, I guess. So it's kind of like 11 is really giving you a higher perspective here on a new cycle that you're going to start. And the 1... and the 2 energy of 47, is going to be about the duality of the mindset after you've expanded yourself and started to understand that you are not only just your logical mind, but also your intuitive and spiritual mind as well, which oftentimes are the same. Anyway, the next card that we have out is Simplicity. And I think ultimately that you're going to be very confused in this energy for a long time, but the goal here is for simplicity to be implemented in your life. So it's kind of like the fog is being cleared here with this energy, where it's like at some point it is going to be a clear sky. It is going to be a simple life, and you are going to be manifesting that possibly even through your mind as well. And they said you're manifesting through your expanded mindset, which is highlighted here. Yeah, and a lot of this comes with the Sun energy coming out from the Universal Tarot, where you are getting a stronger sense of clarity, which is also giving you the freedom to move forward in situations where you were at one point trying to philosophize your way out of those situations as well. This could also be related to your resources, where you're starting to realize that your own mentality is going to be an abundant resource for you moving forward. This might even be the beginning of a journey after finding your own personal clarity and then deciding to take action. The next card that we have out is the Three of Pentacles, talking about working together with other people around you. And it's interesting because I also have the moon here. The moon has been coming out in some of these readings, and I've been getting a lot of sun moon images. What? Okay. I've been getting a lot of sun moon imagery here, which kind of gives me the impression that there is and I've said this in some of the other readings, that there is somebody in this collective that is watching my videos that has very strong sun moon in synastry with somebody that they're dealing with. This person might work with you. This person might also start a business with you, but that's just for some of you. The other thing that I'm seeing here, though, is that you're going to start realizing that your mindset, your perspective revolves around your mindset, or your mindset revolves around your perspective, really. And you are going to start realizing that the way that you feel internally is going to be reflected through the way that you behave and the way that you communicate with others. And also your feelings do influence your thoughts, right? The way that you, and that's why we do things like deal with our mental health. Because if you understand how you feel, you'll understand that some of your thinking comes from a place of that hurt child, whose ice cream got spilled on the concrete. You know what I mean? It's that kind of thing where it's like you've experienced certain things that have kind of stuck with you over time, and even though you don't think about them on a regular basis, you still respond from that same hurt place or that same saddened place or whatever it is that you're dealing with. With the moon, I also see, though, that this is another emphasis of you going on a journey. So it's like while you might be going on this physical journey that I saw with the Magician in the Mirror and going forward, you might be also going on a personal journey, on a journey of the self, or a dark night of the soul, as many call it, with the moon here. And a lot of this is going to be you working with your higher self and possibly even your guides to develop a stronger sense of self that is worthy of being considered the higher self, meaning that you are ascending in a sense. We also have the sun. This is not the sun. This is the Ace of Cups. The sun was already out. I was looking at the sun. Or like, okay, so you might even start attracting more attention from people that you don't necessarily expect. We have the Ace of Cups. The Ace of Cups is here to say that you will be moving into a peaceful energy as well, but also that the universe will be offering you a new emotional beginning. This is confirmation to what I was saying about that relationship with very good sun moon synastry. What the hell? Okay, we have the Lovers here. Somebody is, and it's like, this is a soulmate relationship. I don't even know. And it might even be in Vedic or sidereal astrology too. So I would check my synastry with the people that you're dealing with right now. This might also be for cross watchers. We have the Two of Pentacles here as well. The Two of Pentacles is kind of saying that you might be dealing with somebody in your own energy, Leo, or somebody who will be in your energy soon, who's still trying to weigh out the pros and cons of how to deal with you or how to move forward with you. Yup. We have the Nine of Wands here. So the Nine of Wands, though, is kind of saying basically that whoever it is that you will be dealing with, or whoever it is that you are dealing with, who's going to be offering something to you, or that you're going to be offering something from, or offering something to, on the emotional level, you're going to have to work with this person. But also, this person does want to idolize you with the Three of Pentacles. This person is somewhat of a soulmate, or this person has been guided intuitively to you in some kind of way, and that this relationship is divinely ordained. But you still have to do the work on the 3D level to really make sure that it's going to work out for you the way that you plan for it. So it's kind of like, just because this person's coming into your energy does not mean that you have to commit to them or that you have to be with them. You know what I mean? It's that kind of vibe. And also be aware that, just because you're soulmates does not mean that there's no work in the relationship either, which is why the Nine of Wands is here. Is because you have to do some of that personal work still to get over your past, and also stop being so guarded in that energy. The last card that we have from the Energy Oracle is the second chakra, Archangel Ariel. And this actually came out, I think, in the Gemini reading as well. But I'm not exactly sure. I don't remember completely, but this is the sacral chakra healing that I had mentioned earlier. And they're actually telling me that I just need to go right into this new beginnings. So some of you might be having a sexual awakening, and that's all I'm going to say on that. This card is a 38, or this is a 36 reducing down to a 9. So this is going to be the end of a cycle for you, the sacral chakra healing. You might even be healing your sacral chakra right now or be feeling a lot of releasing from that area. And this is indicative of a new beginning for you, because things that you were passionate about in the past are not going to be things that you need to be focused on in the future. You might not have time to be focused on some of those things if you are starting a business or going on a journey, especially. Whether that journey, like I said, is a physical journey, a mental journey, a spiritual journey, or even something related to career. And because when I say a journey in this reading specifically, and my guides are even confirming this, that you are actually kind of, it's going to be an experience more so than it's actually going to be you traveling. You know what I mean? It's going to be you, a series of events type of journey. The second chakra, Archangel Ariel, is also saying, though, that you need to focus on connecting to your guides to heal. So I would definitely suggest meditation or prayer or both. We have the High Priestess here, so this is confirmation. We also have the Empress here. This is confirmation that you are ascending spiritually or mentally or possibly even psychically, and that a lot of the things that you're going to be learning about are things that you didn't already know, or that nobody's been able to talk about with you. And some of these journeys that you're going to be experiencing as a collective are also going to be associated with that's wrong. Some of the things that you're going to be experiencing as a collective are also going to be things that you cannot communicate with other people about for whatever reason. The next card that I have out here is the Empress. And for me as a reader, I started to notice that a lot of times the Empress and the High Priestess can be competition for each other. So you might be competing with somebody right now. And this could be competition, especially in somewhere like... this is kind of going to be kind of anti-feminist, but it's kind of like you and somebody around you. It's kind of like, ooh, these might even be different aspects of yourself. And this might be what the Man in the Mirror is also talking about, or the Magician in the Mirror, is also talking about, where it's kind of like, on one hand, you want to be a very abundant individual who's very pretty, who's very well sought after, who looks good, who feels good, and who has good stuff. But on another hand, you also want to be the spiritually abundant individual who has a lot of information and who knows a lot of things. The New Beginnings card is actually kind of saying that you'll have both. But you need to be able to integrate both of those into a higher self, where, you become better or more ascended than both of these individuals, to where you can have material abundance because you're a human and not an archetype or a card. And at the same time, you're also a spiritualist. You're not just somebody who's only out to make money and have nice things, right? And that's all about integration. And they're actually even saying with the King of Swords here that it's also possibly about decisions that you make, how you go about, or how you intellectualize your spirituality and your how you intellectualize your spirituality and your capitalism. That would apply especially to my American followers, but that could be for anyone. So the King of Swords could also be a representation of somebody that you're dealing with, although they're kind of confirming here that you have a lot of options when it comes to romance. So this soulmate might be in a crowd right now, and that might have been the competition energy that I was picking up on too, where it's kind of like you're competing with you and your higher self on how you're going to appear to this person. And then your person might be an air sign especially, or the person that you need to be dealing with is an air sign as well. But you have a lot of options when it comes to romance, but you need to really clear. It's kind of like, and that's what this is also talking about, the sacral chakra healing. You have a lot of options because you're attracted to a lot of people, and you're attractive to a lot of people as well. And you need to intellectualize some of these different aspects of yourself, integrate some of these different aspects of yourself to really make better decisions when it comes to who you need to be dealing with and why. And actually, that's all I'm going to do for this second chakra, Archangel Ariel. So let's get a card out for you for some advice. We have the Woman Holding a Heart. We also have the Goddess of the Moon. Goddess of the Moon is a 52, reducing down to a 6, being about divine love. So your guides are saying here with the Goddess of the Moon that they love you and that they are going to help you connect to your intuition if you call on them to do so. This is also saying that this is definite communication from your guides. with the blue here being a representation of communication through the throat chakra. So you might even be somebody who does a lot of channeling like me. A lot of this reading is resonating for me, but I know it will also resonate for some of you as well. I also see here with the woman holding a heart, this is a 44 reducing down to an 8, being about that mental expansion energy. And also you will be expanding yourself and you will be integrating different parts of yourself over time, but you're really kind of coming back to this cycle of once you understand who you are and how to work with the shadow self and how you're going to integrate the energy of the sacral chakra and the solar plexus chakra and the crown chakra and making yourself into this spiritual but also abundant person and things like that, and you have an expanded mindset about what you want and how you're going to go after it and things like that, you're going to come into this energy where you're really going to be prioritizing relationships and also prioritizing the emotionality behind yourself, where you might even be expressing your emotions a little bit differently or even a little bit more passionately due to a desire to show people how you genuinely feel or even how you genuinely are, which is interesting. And some of this might be related to that sacral chakra healing where you're starting to realize that it's kind of like, okay, the energy that I'm picking up on is kind of like you are kind of starting to realize that the way that you feel is also a representation of the way that you are. You know what I mean? And that's not necessarily to say that the way that you feel determines who you are, but it's more like that the way you feel your emotions, or better yet, those things that you get emotional about are related to your own desires, and your guides are kind of pushing you to kind of come to some stronger conclusions about what that means for you. You know, and okay, and so for example, do you like, they're saying, do you like animals because you want to nurture, or because you like to nurture things? And would that be something that you could also say would translate into a desire for children, for example? It's something like that, but they're not giving me deep specifics. So you are being supported in this expansion, though. Hopefully this resonated for you. If you like this video, leave a like. If you've gotten to this point in the video, leave a star emoji in the comments. I would really appreciate that. Let me know if this reading resonated for you in the comments as well. And always subscribe and find me on my other social media. Goodbye, Leo.